Hello there and welcome back. We are here part something with the Kerbal Space Program as we're kind of just working on some random stuff here late at night. As I get back home from work, just hop on and try to rip a couple missions or something like that. Today we're just working on the Kerbnational Space Station. That's right, the Kerbnational Space Station. We have orbiting Kerbin currently. We're sending an unmanned mission full of fuel. That's what we're kind of planning on doing here. Filling it up, having this section just as a fueling port for any ships, that we'll send into orbit and maybe do some sort of long mission. It's just fun stuff like that, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Setting up some huge boosters that are going to help us get off to orbit. And we will be extremely dialed in, getting the aerodynamics set in. We got the batteries on board, which I don't realize it at this time, but they can hold charge, these batteries. These batteries are really, really awesome. And in the middle of me setting this up, as you can see on the surface of Kerbin, we actually have an eclipse going on, which is crazy. I was not expecting that to happen. That totally just randomly happened. We had a complete solar eclipse happen on the surface, which it's going to happen again because I had to revert the flight because during the solar eclipse, I ran out of battery and couldn't do anything, so had to revert. And then on launch, we noticed this oscillation that is occurring on the spacecraft, and we don't want an oscillation. We don't want the thing to oscillate, so we had to bring it back and put some struts on it. Not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. And we were able to take off very, very much successfully. This time we're going to send ourselves into orbit, trying to rendezvous with the Kerbnational Space Station. The Kerbnational Space Station, which it takes me a while to get the rendezvous down correctly. Wasn't really the smoothest meetup, but we got our solar panels out so we can collect some electronic charge as we're going, which normally I think in real life you would not do that because the acceleration from the engine would rip them off. I am pretty sure. That's what I'm pretty sure of. We are getting into an orbit though, and I want to set it up to where our rendezvous will occur on the light side of the planet, but right now I am thinking of it backwards. You can see there actually is a solar eclipse happening on the surface of Kerbin right there, and we're going to take a look at it right now. This would be the day side of the planet, but it is being casted a shadow upon by the moon. That's right. Then we fast forward to the next time around here and going to do our burn and try to find ourselves a nice rendezvous part where we can get really close. Kind of takes me a bit of time here to get it down and trying different maneuvers, trying to figure it out. It's been a while, since I've done some rendezvous action. We're going to have a another non-manned mission that we're going to send off to the moon after this one as well. Going to send a capsule, dare I say capsule, to the moon. A capsule with 3 empty seats that anyone on the Kerbnational Space Station can use to go home. Because currently they're all just stuck there. No way to go home, really. But we're getting a close rendezvous point here with our huge engine we're going to decouple from right there. And then this is a lot more maneuverable of a vessel to be able to meet up on the light side of the planet. Hopefully still able to get our rendezvous early enough to have enough time to complete the rendezvous, which we do. Plenty of time. Not a problem at all, as we get it down really, really close here, and I'm about to overshoot it. In fact, I do a little bit. But here we get down to the fun stuff. We aim the ship to it, and we're going to stop using our engine and start using our monopropellant, slowing our closing rate, and we're going to switch over to the Kerbnational Space Station. We're going to switch over to the Kerbnational Space Station to take over and, kind of point it in a better direction here. It's going to really help us out. It's got a nice reaction wheel on it, and we're going to have to line it up to where our solar panels are pointed the right way, and we do. It's all about just nice and easy movements. We got, of course, this thing fast forwarded. It was going very, very, very slow, and we got contact. The next rendezvous procedure we do, the contact it's pretty crazy because it's on a very much smaller coupling node. It's crazy, but here we try to maneuver it in a way so the solar panels will always be facing the sun. It kind of takes me a moment to get it situated quite properly in a way that I thought was decent, you know what I'm saying? And then we are going to go for an EVA, I believe, just to take a brief look, go on the far side. This is when I discover we're going to run out of battery electronic charge in the top right. And I believe, I start messing around with the batteries here and make the discovery that, you can hold charge. These batteries hold charge. I don't know if this is from a mod or what this is about, I'm not 100% certain, but I thought we did an EVA. I might be doing an EVA here any moment, or actually we're gonna go down and start the second mission here and get another rendezvous going, actually. Back to the VAB, the Vehicle Assembly Building. That's right, VAB, Vehicle Assembly Building. That's what it stands for, VAB. And right there, that's the vessel that is going to be taking the Kerbal's home. Obviously, it's a bit overkill. There's a ton of fuel to just exit orbit. But I'm going to use it to kind of refuel the fuel we used to rendezvous with the Kerbnational Space Station on the other vessel. So it'll be all nice and topped off on board. And then all this just to get us into orbit, a little bit overkill as well. We kind of get a little close on the Delta V. I do actually almost end up using all of it. But here we are on takeoff. Nice and successful unmanned mission. You know what I'm saying? This time the solar panels, we have them. The already deployed ones. The ones that are undeployable because they're always active. It's true. And we're just flying up, and we're going to get our separation stage going on here when the engines die. We might have a bit of contact, actually. We sure do. One of the separations do explode. Not ideal, but of course we don't have any visible damage, it doesn't seem, so we do continue on. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. We're very locked in, trying to get ourselves to a proper apoapsis here. It's a little high, but we're able to make do, and I'm trying to be really efficient with my Delta V this time around, just kind of testing some new data, some new strategies on getting to orbit. We're always learning, even though I'm sure, the information's out there. I can just learn it, but I'm learning on my own. That's the fun of it. I'm my own space agency. These are the first times we're rendezvousing. And I'm messing with the node a little bit. I'm kind of struggling, End up just going another time around. And I think we do actually find one that is rather close. And I'm able to use some monopropellant to really, like this one, we actually get it down to a really, really close rendezvous. But as I was saying earlier, the actual coupling of it takes a while, and the rendezvous itself does take some time here, but we got ourselves an intersection right at the beginning of the daylight on the planet, which is perfect. That's exactly where we want to have the rendezvous at. Right at the daylight beginning, so we can recharge. We can take charge, get battery, get some energizing stuff going on. And look at that beautiful sunrise, I guess it would be. A lot of camera movement right there. I'm trying to locate the actual Kerbnational Space Station. There it goes. It went right on by us. And we're within 1 kilometer as we do a decouple of the engine, which is now going to become space debris. Space debris. Space debris. Space debris. Space debris. Real awesome space debris. And firing of our single engine. Gonna do a retro burn before we transfer to RCS. We are kind of close to the station to do a retro burn. I'm sure in real life they would not do what I just did right there. That was probably not a good idea. But here we are, lining up for our contact. It is not exactly 2 square, so I'm using I, J, K, and L to line it up. And once we do get it magnetized here, it does take some time for it to actually bite. But once we get this all connected, we either transfer all the fuel over and top things off, or maybe I go for a EVA. But that was successful. That was a successful bite right there. As I'm collecting a screenshot, I even collect another screenshot when we go EVA here. But this is one of my favorite things to do, hop on out of the vessel and take a look at this giant thing we got orbiting this huge planet in this video game. It is crazy how this game simulates all this stuff, and it's just it just works. You know, you're going all this speed, and sure enough, you're in orbit. What a crazy game mechanic. There's no cutscene, you know, there's no loading scene from surface to orbit. It's really fascinating how a game can do this. And it's amazing, you know, that this game has been out for so long. I remember playing this game in middle school, a long time ago, over a decade ago. You know, man, it's been a long time since I started playing this game. But we have successfully got our space station kind of dialed in here, I would say. I'm trying to get it in a better situation, but I think with the attached vessel, it's kind of acting really weird. I tried to set the control here node from, you know, the cockpit of the actual space station, but it seems like it was still kind of being a little weird, just trying to get the solar panels to point towards the sun a little bit more efficiently. Even though, I mean, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter that we're not even using enough electricity on this thing. It's all just for fun. I'm looking forward, though, to doing a mission that is actually, hopefully, even going to use this thing. I'm not really too sure, you know. We might have to maybe make one even further out in orbit, or I have to figure some things out as far as Delta V, if it's more efficient to have a fueling station low orbit, medium orbit, high orbit. You know, what the most efficient is for fuel, and then leaving, you know, Kerbin's orbit and going into orbit of the sun. The beautiful, beautiful sun, to make it all the way to Duna. But here we are doing the fuel transfer, and I'm trying to get the monopropellant selected to transfer the rest of it over from the escape vessel. I do believe I need to send another escape vessel over to have 2 of them on board. The next one doesn't have to be as extreme. It can be quite a bit smaller with less fuel on board. And we can make a vessel that is essentially the Soyuz, that would just be taking astronauts, Kerbals, to and from the Kerbnational Space Station. But just checking out the battery there, and yeah, we're pretty much all dialed in here. So I really appreciate everyone watching. Hopefully this soothed you. Maybe you watched this to try and fall asleep, and hopefully that did the trick. But next episode we'll be doing some other stuff in space. Maybe with the Kerbnational Space Station. Maybe we're going to go land somewhere. I'm not really too sure. Also might be doing some more keyboard ASMR videos coming up soon, but stay tuned. leave a like. I appreciate you, and have a great rest of your day.